Hello everyone, Farkis Versipelis here. And even after hearing me say that, you are probably still pronouncing it wrong. Welcome to part 2 of my video series of my time at the Hungarian Heritage Festival. For this video, I'm highlighting the groups that I tried to have an interview with. Now I asked a few different people, but they were fluent in Magyar and I am not, they were not fluent in English and I am, and some people just didn't want to be on camera. In the end, only one group I asked agreed to an interview. Fortunately, that is probably the group that had the most interesting things to say.
So, this is Farkis Versipelis at the Magyar Heritage Festival in Sarasota, Florida. And with me right now is two members of the HUN archers in a yurt that has been set up as part of the festival. So, what we'd like to talk about today is who are the HUN archers, what are they doing, and figure out as much as we can about their bows, their arrows, their clothing, as you can see with some of the embroidery, and let's just jump right into it. So first off, you guys tell us your names?
I'm Stephen Cicek István. Live here in Sarasota.
All right.
Gábor Török. Live in Sarasota.
All right. Thank you.
And
István Lakatos.
István Lakatos.
Yes.
All right. Nice to meet you guys. All right. So, what do the HUN archers do?
Well, we started as a group about 5 years ago. We're a group of Hungarians that live here in Sarasota. We all have a love for archery. And if you go back to Hungary, there's a lot of festivals that kind of reenact the olden days of the HUN archers. And we decided, the group of us, all our archers, will, try it out. So it was actually 5 years ago today at this festival. The first, it was the 8th Hungarian festival. I believe we're on the 13th now. We started out as a group and we've been doing it ever since. We've toured around to the Southeast, Miami, Orlando, St. Pete. We've even gone as north as Atlanta, mostly Renaissance and Hungarian festivals. So we wear authentic Hungarian uniforms that we buy when we go over to Hungary. If you can see by our boots and our bows are all handmade in Hungary. Our arrows are all handmade in Hungary. So we basically want to pass on the culture of keeping the tradition alive. If you see our show, we also have children involved as well. So as we get older, we can have the children kind of take over the tradition for us as time goes on. So, rockin', we love it. Any other questions or anything? I mean, you're going to be cutting this in and out, right?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to
Okay.
cut it with some of your show.
All right, awesome.
All right. So, what can you tell us about your styles of bows you use? So they're made in Hungary, but what styles do you have? When were they used? Who used them most prominently?
Well, the bows that we use, as I mentioned, are all handmade in Hungary, and it's kind of funny. We all tried to get somewhat of a different style of bow. For instance, Gabor's right here is a very traditional HUN bow that's made by a very famous archer, probably one of the top 3 in the world. His name is Kossuth Lajos. I was going to say Lajos Kossuth. In Hungarian, you turn the name around.
That makes sense in English, but
Yeah. So there's a little fact for Hungarians. We use the last name first and the first name last, and the only other generation that does that of people are the Japanese. So the Hungarians and Japanese share that culture. Anyways, this is a very traditional. This is the style that Attila the Hun had used back in the day. It's not too long. It's not too short. It's perfect for horseback, so you can kind of maneuver around from side to side. The bow that I have right here, this is called a Krim Tarta, and this is known for its speed and accuracy because it has a really bent end right here on both sides. It's symmetrical. You can use it upside down, right side up, and we all have different pounds of bows. So the strength of a bow goes by its poundage. When we do these traditional shoots here just for fun, we use anywhere from 37 to 45, maybe 50 is high, but we try to keep it kind of low just so it's fun. And the bows that we have going on for the other folks that are on the team, we have a Mongol bow, we have a Magyar bow, that's what Gabi has is the HUN bow, we have a Skita bow, And they're all just different styles used by different tribes way back, in the day. So that's why when we do our show, when we're collecting arrows, we have a group of us come out and really just kind of show which bows we have and the different styles. So if you ever get the opportunity to come out to one of our festivals, we'd love to just have you see us, and we love it. We just try to keep the tradition alive.
I just watched your show. It was really great. I can't wait to see more of the horseback archery show coming up later.
Yeah, so the gentleman that you're going to be seeing next, his name is Petty Peter Moritz, and he actually, the gentleman that I mentioned that handmade Gabor's bow is Kasoly Lajos. He actually has a school over in a town just south of Kaposvár called Kapos Mező, and he has a 51-acre farm with hills and mountains. It's absolutely gorgeous, and he takes archery to a different level where it's almost like a karate art. And he has students that he teaches and gives them, instead of belts, they wear different color uniforms. And when you graduate, you are a master archer. And this gentleman actually graduated his school about 4 or 5 years ago. He's now living in Gainesville, Florida. He came down. This is his first time with us, so we're really looking forward to seeing it. You're going to be very surprised at what he sees. You're going to love it.
And we're also very happy for him to bringing this yurta, which is second year over here.
Second year.
Second year when it's.
So Istvan handmade this whole thing by himself.
Wow.
And he brings this down here from the Clearwater area, and he loves to just show off all the fashion, the clothing, the whips that we have and whatnot, and welcomes anybody into his place and has some tea and crackers and has a good time about it. So, and as you can see, we have armor, different bows.
Eredeti.
Perfect.
Grozer.
This is
Eredeti grozer és eredeti anyagokból van.
so this bow right here is called the Grozer, and Grozer is another top-made bow in Hungary. Kasoly Grozer is probably the two biggest. Actually, there's a few others, Vig and whatnot, but they're all excellent, fantastic bows. It's really personal preference. If you're a musician, it's kind of like what kind of guitar you're playing, or a drummer, what kind of sticks you're using. So it's personal preference, and then of course the poundage and the feel, and then of course there's really two types of archers. There's one on foot, the jolog, and then we have the low, which is on a horse. So we're not horse archers. Actually, Gabor is, but we don't. And Attila, who you saw, the taller gentleman outside, he is as well. But in our show, we just do foot stuff. So, but you'll see that next with the horse with Petty, and so this is just traditional Hungarian stuff. We live it, we love it. So
I love it too. I'd love to know more about it. So I noticed you have some of the Rovás írás Magyar writing.
So my last name is Csicek, and this is Csicek and Rovás. Now Rovás was the Hungarian alphabet way back in the day, and they actually abolished it in 1869. So it wasn't too long ago that it actually went away. And if you go to modern-day Hungary now, they're starting to get the traditions back. If you go to different cities, when you go, for instance, you see Budapest, underneath it will say Budapest and Rovás.
Nice.
If you go to Vác, you'll see Vác and Rovás. So a lot of these bigger cities are kind of getting the traditions back. So I just put my name on everything just so everyone knows it's mine. I have it just about on everything but my clothes.
Actually, the Rovás was a curve riding, and you have to read it from left to right.
Yeah.
You mean right to left?
Right to left.
Right to left.
Right
sorry.
to left. So
Yeah.
English we
Yeah,
read
yeah,
from
yeah,
left to
yeah,
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we read it, so it's written
Backwards.
from right to left.
Yes.
Yes, backwards from what we,
Yeah.
using the Roman alphabet, know.
Láttátok, hogy hány éve? A rovásírás mondtátok hány éve?
Nem.
3000 éves eredeteket találtuk rovásírás.
He says they find a 3,000 years old Hungarian Rovás
Which is,
writing.
wow, which is
That's
before the
yeah.
conquest of
Yes.
Pannonia.
Correct.
That's impressive. I didn't know it was that old.
Oh yeah.
Or, well, I didn't know there were records that old.
Yeah, and they. I actually just saw a TV show not too long ago. There was a nomadic Hungarian tribe that actually migrated up to Finland. So that's why the Finns. We always kind of say the language is similar, And
Part of the Finno-Ugrian class.
absolutely, and it's the only other language that's somewhat like Hungarian. Hungarian is totally different than all our surrounding Germanic and Slovak Slavic type of languages. And with what I'm trying to get at is this Finland tribe used to go on boat a lot, like Vikings. They actually found a cave in Newfoundland in Canada that had Rovage inside one of the caves.
In
Not to-
Newfoundland?
Yes, in Newfoundland.
Wow.
Yeah, you can check it out. I'm sure you'll love it, being a geologist.
Biologist.
Biologist, sorry.
Sure, geology is interesting too.
So yeah, I saw that on a TV show not too long ago. I thought it was interesting. So to Istvan's point, so Huns have been around for quite some time and had a really
Absolutely.
big state in the world. So any other questions or?
Well, I noticed you have the turtle imagery on you a couple times. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Any relevance
Yeah.
that has to?
The turul means actually it's a representative wealth and health and the growing. So, I mean, on the tribes we have all kinds of different images. This would be
The Csodaszarvas?
yes. Exactly.
Ott is az volt, ez csak.
Ott is egy turul. So the turul is, hogy mondjam neki, mit mondjam?
It's really like the protector of Hungary. It's a mythological that it has been protecting and hovering over Hungary for the entire existence of the world. And whenever Hungarians would go into battle, that bird would be flying above, just watching over, kind of like an archangel type of thing. So, good pickup.
Yeah. And allegedly, it's the father of Attila the Hun, or grandfather by some legends.
That's what they're saying. If you want to see a really great replica of it, there's a town that is west of Budapest called Tatabánya. And Tatabánya has a nice hill, and they've made an enormous turul. And people go there as kind of like a statue. And it's actually so big, and this is a true story, it's so big that in World War I, the Germans would come over and they were shooting at it thinking that it was an airplane. And it's just a metal statue.
Right. Wow.
So,
Ez egy szent madár. Tehát egy szent madár magyar.
yep.
Azt,
Nem tudom, hogy kell mondani ezt.
a szent,
Aha.
It's like the saint. The
Like
saint. It's like I said, the archangel.
az amerikaiaknak a sas.
Like America, in America we have the eagle. In Hungary we have the
Egy
turtle.
sólyom, és ez.
Right. The magical falcon.
Exactly.
Yes.
Ő is eredeti.
All right. Well, thanks, guys, for taking the time to talk to me today.
No problem.
no problem.
So, thanks for.
Great meeting you, bro.
Yeah. Nice to meet you.
You too.
Így egy